Hey guys, Coach SeeEl here, and Season 15 has finally commenced, and there's been a great number of changes from the Void Grub spawning at different times, the Herald spawning at different times, Atakhan, and this whole new Boots quest. And I'm here to help you navigate in a quick video so that you can win more elo. Let's start off by talking about Boots, because I think Boots is one of the biggest things that are like a massive trap right now. Boots are great, as you guys know, but they have been nerfed. But other than that, when you finish a quest called Feats of Strength, you get an upgrade of the boots. So what happens to your primary boots is they upgrade to Triumphant X boots. And when you have 2 legendary items, you can buy an upgraded version. And it looks very OP on paper, but we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. To get these boots, you need to do 3 quests. Or you need to do 2 of 3 quests. So you either need to get First Blood, First Turret, or Monster Slaying. A big misconception are these grubs, right? Because these grubs are considered epic monsters and 3 of them spawn. So some people are going to game thinking, oh, if I kill 3 monsters, if I kill 3 of these grubs, I'm going to get the quest immediately. That's not the case, guys. You need to kill 3 grubs for it to consider 1 epic monster. So that means going for these grubs and trying to finish these quests become far more contestable. For example, say I run into the grubs and I do 2. An enemy jungler comes in and smites the 3rd one. Now I have to wait until the next spawn of grubs and try to get 1 grub to finish 1 quest. Additionally, if I get 5 grubs, not 6, it's considered 1 epic monster still. So you can deny the enemy from finishing this quest earlier. A lot of these people are trying to get these feats of strength, and there's this like fake news going around once again saying that when you get this boost upgrade, you win 75 or 85% of your games. Something like that. I don't pay much attention to it because it's all bull, right? Win rates are not directly correlated with the results of the game. In fact, the reason the win rates are high when you get these boots have nothing to do with the boot stats at all. For example, let's look at the stats that you get. Sorcerer boots provide 12 magic penetration, 45 movement speed. So you essentially get 2 magic penetration for free. Nothing. Essentially nothing. And the other boots are very, very negligible as well, guys. And so the big upgrade in the stats come when you buy the upgrade. So if you look at this, it looks pretty significant, right? 6 base magic penetration, 8% magic penetration as well. But in fact, the 750 gold that you spend on the upgrade of the boots are quite often not worth it. For example, let's look at movement speed boots. You get 60 movement speed, 25% movement speed reduction, slow reduction. And for 75 gold, or 750 gold, I get 4% total move speed and a base increase of 10 move speed. Why would I not just buy, for example, Winged Moonplate, which is the same amount of gold, slightly more, 50 more gold, for 200 health, which is in most cases going to be just a more efficient item. People really are overplaying this boots. I think that when you have it super late game and you have this extra stat, it is definitely nice and quantifiable. Especially, for example, on 6 items, my move speed is going to be significantly higher on the 6 item mark. But most solo queue games are decided from early game. And so what is the reason behind this win rate? The biggest reason is that you simply are ahead in the game. Gold is simply the most important factor in the majority of games, golden experience. And so think about it, if you have First Blood and First Turret, you're probably playing from a very, very big advantage, guys. If you have 3 objectives, you're probably playing from a very, very big advantage. These boots are actually, you know, incredibly important, not because of the actual boots, but because of the quests. And it's actually making players focus more on the early game than ever before. But the game is, to be honest, always been the same. I think that's it for boots. That's all you really need to know. The other thing I'll say is that out of the boots, I think that the Magic Pen boots are really good. I think the Ionian boots are maybe some of the more higher value ones, especially if you're a support. I think the boots of swiftness, this one is obviously going to be good against, you know, a lot of slows. The gunmetal boots can definitely be good as a ranged champion. So I'm at 6 items. So say I'm late game and I hit someone just once. Boom. That's quite a lot, guys. Like that's actually quite a lot. You know, 15-20 movement speed, you know. If you're on the team that lost the boots, guys, the amount of people in solo queue right now that are just giving up games because they lost the boots quest is absurd. And all because of this like ridiculous, 75-85% win rate that's tied. So let's talk about the next change. The Void Grub Camp respawn timer. So I'm going to reset this game. And the Void Grubs, guys, actually spawn once at 6 minutes. But now the second spawn lasts all the way until 16 minutes. So before, Void Grubs would only spawn until 14 minutes. That means Void Grubs are up longer. Herald spawns much later. And therefore, you can also play for these Void Grubs much later into the game. Say you started the Void Grubs at 10 minutes. Because the Void Grubs would die at 14 minutes, you could never get 6 grubs. Now, you can start the grub at 11 minutes and you'll still have a full minute until it goes down at 16. And then at 16 minutes, Herald will spawn. That changes a lot in terms of swaps. In solo queue, it's gonna affect your ability to not just tunnel on these grubs super hard. 6 grubs are still incredibly OP, however. If you can deny them the second set of the 3 grubs, please try to do so in your solo queue games. The next change. Herald is amazing, but Herald also is not an objective I would place a huge amount of importance on. I think most of the time you're not just going to be able to like take the Herald for free. So say the Herald spawns at 16 minutes and you go Drake, it is like really fine. The game is still really fine. It's still their same Herald. What does matter, however, is this Atakhan is a game changer. It is a more accessible, killable, larger objective. It's much easier to kill than Baron, for example. And there are 2 forms of Atakhan, guys. So the first form of Atakhan is this red one, and the second one is this black one. And essentially, all you need to know, the red one, so Voracious Atakhan, gives you a Guardian Angel, and a black one gives you this buff. So there are these like little roses that spawn all around the map. These bloody petals, right? You see them all around the map. Every time you kill them, you get EXP and you also get stats. Most of your games are going to have the black Atakhan. So if you actually read why they spawn, it kind of explains in detail. Atakhan will show which side they spawn. You guys don't need to pay too much attention to it because the map will change around where the Atakhan spawns. Now, what type of Atakhan that spawns will be determined by each kill and point of damage. And we'll kind of show you guys what it does. So we can speed this part up. And basically, all you need to know about the black Atakhan is that it gives you a ton of EXP and stats. So it'll spawn a bunch of these roses. Make sure you kill these roses if you see them. And you'll see the stack, right? 5.7 adaptive force will kill them all. So it's just given me about 30. So it gives you permanent 750 XP and 22 adaptive force. Obviously, like throughout the game, you're going to pick more of these up. And it's actually a lot more than this. So it gives you like a permanent buff. So this is actually a very, very significant objective, because what ends up happening is you're gonna have like a 2-3 level gap in your solo queue games. So whenever you get Atakhan in your game, I really suggest fighting for it. This is gonna actually be a game decider most of the time. The red Atakhan gives you the fake GA, right? So why is the fake GA important? You get so much tempo on the map. So for those of you guys that are kind of new to like coaching, or if you're kind of lower rank, tempo stands for time in Portuguese. It also stands for time in my coaching too. Essentially, the more tempo that you have, the more advantages you're going to have. For example, if I have a time advantage against the other person because I push the wave, I'm going to be able to get vision. So as you can see, I have false life, right? You can see false life. So say we have a 5v5 on mid and both sides have Atakhan. Say I kill 3 of them and they kill 5 of us. We're not going to give them any kills. They only get 100 gold from this false life. They only get 100 gold for killing us. Now we're all up on the map again. And 3 of these guys are dead, and these guys are probably low too. We're going to take over the whole map. We're going to push every lane. We're going to have vision everywhere. So the map state is just completely doomed for the enemy team. And it's just a really important concept when you play high level League of Legends, just understanding tempo. Yeah, Atakhan really is the big game changer that people have to pay attention to, not the boots, guys. Like, for example, okay, let's go to Viva Cade Stars, right? Just the teams that I've coached, just teams that are well coached in general. They're going to have a very high win rate at 15 minutes. If they're ahead at 15 minutes, they're going to win. And your solo queue is similar, but not as extreme, because it's obviously not like a group, right? So for example, you might be winning 70% of your games instead. Your early game still matters, but the Atakhan is going to give you such an advantage on the map. What's going to be some ways to use the Atakhan in the right way? One great way of using the red Atakhan, if you can get it, is you just push 3 lanes. Let's just say they defend, and we all die. Once again, they're going to be low, But all these waves are going to be pushed. And they can't defend all 3 lanes well, because Atakhan side is going to be ahead in levels and ahead in EXP. So a lot of the time, say like this guy will kill this tower. Even if these guys kill these guys, and say one of them die, they have to go back to base. And all these waves are going to be pushed, and these blue side guys are going to be back on the map so quickly. And then they're going to threaten the Nash. So that's one way to play it. Opening 3 lanes and just pushing like crazy. You're going to see that a lot in competitive play. Because obviously in competitive play, you have far less kills. Another thing you can do is you can just like play 2 lanes. Play 2 lanes or play 1 lane. Trade lives. They're going to be dead. They're going to have 30-second cooldown on their deaths. You're already going to be open on the map. When you have Black Atakhan, it's just about levels, right? So if you're playing scaling champions like Kale or whatever, just use your level advantage to press and play the game as normal. But most of the game has remained the same, guys. Another key change, sorry, I actually forgot about, so it wasn't the last point, Atakhan, is that Nexus turrets respawn. So if you kill these guys, after 3 minutes, they respawn. So it's going to give you some more comeback mechanics, but I don't think it's that important to most of your solo queue games. So you know when you kill the Black Atakhan, right? And those roses spawn that we talked about earlier. Atakhan does a lot of damage. So say you're losing the game, and they have boots lead, they have like 3k gold lead. And they're taking a bunch of damage from Atakhan. If you can kill them after the Atakhan itself is not the most valuable objective. The roses are. So if they have the Black Atakhan, try to get a good fight in if you're behind. Because if you can kill them after the Black Atakhan and you get all the roses, it's an even game. You kill them, you get a bunch of gold, and you get the EXP. So that's it for Season 15 recap. That's the most important stuff that you have to be wary of. Don't believe in the fake news. Believe in Coach SeeEl. Don't overreact to the boots. Love you guys. Best of luck climbing. Tamo junto. Obrigado. Like and subscribe.